Yes.
Perfect. Hi, how are you?
No, absolutely fine. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I think there's some issue again, if I'm not wrong. Or is it going all right?
No, it's all right. It's all right. Like people are joining.
So, all right, great. Okay, so why don't you start with like your introduction kind of thing?
Like, if I give my introduction, my followers generally know me, and to go in a bit deep, I'm doing my bachelor's from University of Melbourne, Australia,
That's
and
great.
yeah, that's it. What I have in my portfolio right now. So,
So, what are you doing your bachelor's in? Like, what's your field?
uh, BCom basically, finance as my majors.
Ah, okay, that's great. That's nice. I also like completed my master's recently in, business psychology, and I am also doing this freelancing kind of thing and starting a career. So just let's see how it goes.
What's this business psychology? Like what it teaches?
So, business psychology is another domain, I would say, of HR, but it's not at all like, a part. So there is more of, for example, if I'm giving you an example, like for example, soft skills. So we basically train people on soft skills like communication, leadership, and various other aspects. Like for example, there is a company, they know everything about it, like what goes in and out. But
Yes, yes,
just because of a simple miscommunication, they are making a lot of loss, and there are issues between, the employees in the company just because of a certain like soft skill which they can, improve within minutes or within really short time and boost their business. So
yes,
just because of some small things, what they're losing. So this is how there are various aspects in it. Like we have organization development, like specifically learning and development, how how we can just train employees, and it's a very small concept, but it can make a big difference basically.
yes, yes.
So that is what it
Basically,
is, business
it's a
psychology.
new course, I think.
Yeah, it's a new course, and it's like kind of people are, trying to opt for it now, and it's actually kind of nice.
I also
So this
thought
is
to
a
go for business analytics. It was also a new course, but
yeah,
like it wasn't
yeah.
in the University of Melbourne, and like University of Melbourne is something great.
It's
So
of course, it's a big thing. It's a big thing,
yes,
definitely.
that's
That's
why I
so
left
nice.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually trying to consider an option for Australia, but then I was like, no. UK was actually known good for psychology, so then hence
Yes,
I
yes.
opted for UK psychology and stuff. But
And
yeah, of course it was good
UK is
again.
also pretty expensive. Yes.
UK is pretty pound is like, oh my God, I was like, that's like the most valuable thing. Like it's 100 rupees. The conversion is 100 rupees right now.
Yes, yes,
And I
yes.
was like, oh God. Yeah, yeah, it's really bad. But then again, if you earn in pound, it's again like a very big thing because you're
Yes,
earning in pound. Firstly, yeah, you have to spend and then you are earning. So that's another thing. Yeah, that was great.
living
Wow.
expenses are something which like
Yeah, it is. It
fuels
is
the mind
again
when you
really
pay it.
bad. Of course, the living expenses, I think food, everything there was overall. Yeah, but I think people there for 2 years course, they are like more pretty. I think UK has opted for another thing now. They have 2+2, like 2 years of studying and then 2 years visa. So this is the
Yeah.
first year UK has started that. So people going to UK now, they can have 4 years there. So that is a kind of good plus point kind of thing which UK has started now.
Yes. And Australia also the visa is like for 3 years you get to complete your education. After that you get additional 2 years to do any kind of job, or
Oh,
if
that's
you
kind
don't
of
want,
nice.
you can come back to India.
Oh, lovely, lovely. That's kind of nice, right? So,
Yes.
masters, they're only for 2 years, or do you have 1 year course as well?
1 year course, not in all the masters. Like for some specific courses, we have 1 year, and the rest is all 2 years.
Ah, that's kind of nice, nice, nice. So, like, how did you choose that? Like, through some networks, or like, how did you just, go in there?
Basically, at a very young age, I had a dream to study in Australia. So, like, not in Australia, to be precise, in abroad anywhere, but when I researched, I found out like Australia is a pretty good place. So yes, let's go there.
Right, right. And specifically if it's University of Melbourne, you should definitely, like, of
Yes,
course it is. True, true, true. No, that's really nice. That's really nice.
yes,
Just discussing that, there was like a networking concept which again blew our minds, like how important it is because we also went to UK. We found out that people are getting jobs through network. Like there's nothing they're doing, but there was a friend of mine. He was there, and within a week he got a job. Like it is so difficult to get a job. He got it in Booking.com. People are like, it's so difficult to get a job in UK,
yes,
but
yes.
then if you have good networks, you get it so easily. Like
And
it's like
networking,
within fraction of
networking,
seconds.
yeah, networking always helps. Like in Australia also,
Really help.
like if you are an Indian, then you really suffer
True,
in
true.
terms of getting either part-time job or full-time job. So networking is,
Definitely.
yes. So networking is like when you have connections, so they are like, yes, he's a good man. Let's test him, and you don't also have to put your all, burn the midnight oil for getting there. ये मतलब थोड़े समय में हो
Definitely. It's
जाता है.
kind of better. Yeah, 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 of course. बहुत easy हो जाता है. Everything becomes really easy if you know someone or someone is into that specific organization.
Yes,
It's
yes.
really easy. And as it said, your network is your net worth. So basically, slowly, if you start building your network and then you take it to another level, then
Yes,
this
yes.
is how you grow
Even
in terms of like business and stuff.
yes, even if you start your own business, then also networking helps. Like when you go for getting funding from any investor
Hmm.
or like,
True.
when you are very young, like you are just passed out your bachelor's and you go for funding, then what they see in you is like, what's your network? आप पहले कहाँ कहाँ अप्रोच लगा चुके हो आप, like from where you are outsourcing, because if you have good network, then like कम पैसे में आप अच्छे से outsource कर सकते हो best services को. And without outsourcing, you at a startup level, without outsourcing you cannot run it because आपके पास सारे
Definitely.
resources नहीं होते हैं. So networking
नहीं
also
है.
helps in that case also.
Definitely. So it's like Jao and start exploring the opportunities around you, start meeting new people. This is how you get into that particular business
Yes.
or a particular field, basically.
Even when it comes to learning also, networking is like, especially when you are out of your country, then you meet people from US, you
So
meet people from Japan, and when they teach you,
definitely,
you get to learn about the US environment, you get to learn about the Japanese environment. So even if you
definitely, definitely.
further in life you go to Japan also to do any kind of business, so then that at that point of time also it helps.
Definitely, like, this is the same thing that happened with me. Like, I had a friend who is from Malaysia, so we went there. We were just trying to know what culture they are staying in, like what's the business over there, how do they work, what's their mentality. And then when you visit that country, you have a different outlook altogether for that people, that country, and you kind of try to relate, like what's different between us and what's different between them. Like, it's kind of similar, but then again, it's a big thing that happens.
Yes, yes, yes.
But
But
it's really networking, yeah. And this is the only thing that you explore when you go out of India, basically, I feel, because hence you approach many people out of India, because otherwise we are always into our bubble that, we want Indians, we want people from our caste, from our community,
yes,
and it's
yes.
just always into that small box.
And even when
But
it
if you
comes
go
to
out,
opportunity, also, even when it comes to opportunity, you see in India, like just after bachelor's in India, you don't get much opportunity. And when you're out of India, like it's like whole world is waiting for you. भाई आ जाओ यार तुम्हें job देंगे हमें.
definitely. It actually seems like that cream world, but there is also another struggle over there. Like people staying abroad have their own things. They have to manage so many things which people are not aware of in India. Like
Yes,
they think
yes,
it's
yes.
such a like a creamy thing going there, studying there, and but it's not. It's not the same.
And even like from India, it's like yaar, far abroad, Melbourne. When you step into that, then you found out like यार सब कुछ तो हमें खुद ही करना है यहाँ पे.
No, exactly, exactly. That's what I'm saying. People feel like, wow, we're living such a good life, but then we
Yes, yes.
realize, this is not a very this thing. True,
And
true,
all
so true.
the friends and relatives are like, by developed country, or it's like people dream to live there, and you're studying there, yeah. And when
Yeah.
the point you visit there, it's like, oh, this is the reality.
Exactly. So many people, they ask me like, why did you come back? You went to UK, you shouldn't have come back. Why didn't you look for a job there and all that shit? Firstly, COVID ruined everything. It was not just, the job thing. COVID had just,
Yes, yes.
taken the shit out
Especially
of
in Europe,
people
it's too
and
much.
everything. Europe is like worst. UK specifically, it's like the worst. It's still lockdown over there, I feel. Like it's more than like
Yes,
seven
yes.
to eight months now. All the retail stores and everything's closed right now. It's really bad. UK is worst. And hence I had to like come back. And so everyone's like, why did you come back? Why did you come back? You should have stayed. Who gets opportunity like this? Yeah, yeah. But people need to understand it's just like a struggle over there. If you want to live a, good lavish life, you need to come back to India.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's just like people are attracted to money there. Okay, you have good money, and hence people are like, okay, I want to stay there. I want to stay there. That's the only thing I feel. This is what like my observation and my thinking is. But I don't
In fact,
know.
like people just see the money. They don't see that if we are
Exactly.
highly paid, then we also have the expenses also. Like a student's
True.
expense
True.
in Melbourne is around 60 to 65,000 at minimum. This is minimum. So you
Oh
know
my
you can
God.
understand if he's earning when he's doing his job, he's earning 1 lakh per month. Then you can understand, yeah, पैसे डिजार्व तो सिर्फ उसके expense पे जा रहा है. And that too you
Exactly. You
have to
cannot
pay.
save. True. True.
Yes, you have to pay the rent of your apartment. You have to pay for your food. You cannot do anything in that.
And this, yeah, this expenses we can't even avoid. Okay, these are the savings we cannot do it.
Yes, yes.
That's not possible. So we have to spend that money. It's practically not possible. This is another issue. Yeah, of course. Just people need to know. Like people are like, wow, such a soft world, creamy things, everything is going good, but it's not. It's just like how people on Instagram, they try to show their photos and
Yes,
everything. Wow, they are this, and actually the reality is something else altogether.
yes. Because people
So
they don't tell like we are doing part-time jobs and part-time jobs that too we are not
exactly,
working with Steve Jobs. We are working with we are selling at McDonald's. We are selling burgers. So that's the struggle which people don't see because we don't even show
exactly.
them at our Instagram पे तो भाई यार ओपेरा हाउस के बाहर एक फोटो ले ली डाल दिया and people think wow यार Sydney man, come on man.
Exactly. This is how people are observing, and this is their vision basically. Wow, she's living a very good life. She has this, she has that, but we know what exactly we have over there. But
Yes,
yeah, everyone, I think, even in India has this thing. Everyone has one face that is covered up, which people are,
yes.
seeing, and the reality is something else altogether. But yeah, this is how it is.
But
Exactly. Someone said all that glitters is not gold. That's so
yes,
true.
yes.
Everything. That's so true. Oh God, yeah, this is another issue, I must tell. In fact, there are like I think in UK the businesses are comparatively now people are going like digital and everything, so businesses have also kind of dropped down. But now, according to the research and everything, it's showing that e-commerce and basically everything that is related to technology is going to be a boom like in
Yes, and in
future.
fact, you see, when you go out of India, the startups, if I'm talking about startups, like majority of the startups are product based. And this,
True,
like
true, true.
everybody would have noticed that in India, majority of the startups are like service based. जितने स्टार्टअप्स हम
True.
लोग देखते हैं यार प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड तो आज तक मैंने तो बहुत कम स्टार्टअप्स देखे हैं प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड एवरी लाइक इफ यू गो
Hmm.
फॉर ओला जोमैटो आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द सक्सेसफुल स्टार्टअप्स ओला
Successful
जोमैटो
startups.
स्विगी दीज ऑल आर सर्विस बेस्ड and like I
Hmm.
met this guy. He was CFO at Zomato, and
Oh wow.
we had a session. So I talked to him and said, "Ki, why is this problem? Like you are also in a startup which is service based. So what do you
True.
see where is the problem?" So he said, "Providing service is very easy. Launching a product is like something you need to launch. Like you cannot launch a laptop because it would take a lot of years to make its own
Build.
market to target
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
people. And service is like, yeah,
True.
you can be a middleman and you can provide a service. That's it. And when it comes to education system, also in India, education system is like they don't teach you about like still they don't teach you about entrepreneurship. There are very less schools which teach you. And if you go outside India, it's like they just teach you for 4 hours and then like you discover your own thing. You do, and when the people are discovering their own thing, like then it definitely the people like I am discovering something else कि मुझे क्या करना है मैं डिस्कवर कर रहा हूँ तो जाहिर सी बात है मैं उसमें ऐसी चीजें भी डिस्कवर करूंगा जो मुझे नहीं सिखाई जाती हैं इंडिया में हमारे
Definitely.
ब्रेन्स को मतलब एक जगह पे लगा दिया गया है भाई
True.
like
True.
my school used to open at 7:30 and I was able to leave my school at 5:30 in the evening
Oh
so
God.
like all the remedial classes, extra classes, this and that, they put it, and at the end of the day, after
So
4 or 6
tiring,
hours, your
yeah.
brain is like you cannot study more.
Of course,
Still,
we
you have
cannot
to
even
listen to your
think, we
system
cannot,
say.
yeah. True, true. This is the difference between like India and other countries. Like when I did my masters, we didn't have any exams. Like what we had were like case studies where we were given like this is a case and use your brain and solve it. What will you
Yeah.
do and what are the benefits that employees will get by doing this? So this is how we used to research and then we used to, get into our solutions. Like we can do this, we can do that, hence we can solve the problems. And then this we used to discuss in the entire class with everyone. So everyone had different opinions about everything. We used to listen to 20 different people, think from their perspective, and it was so good. It was classroom based learning, but again in a different manner. It's
Yes.
like a more of a
And
group discussion.
when you listen to like a lot of opinions, then you make out your own opinion, and you also get to learn
Exactly.
a lot. And in India, things are totally different, and that needs to be changed. And in India, we don't
Definitely. I
celebrate.
think.
In India, when we lose something, like honestly telling, when I was 16, I launched my first startup, and like you can imagine, I
Oh,
was in
great.
10th class, and it didn't
Oh
work.
my
It was a
God.
failure. It was a failure, and I proudly say that I launched a startup when I was 16, and it was a failure because can you imagine how many students you would have met that they would have launched their first startup when they were in
Definitely.
class 10?
No, hardly few. Hardly. In fact, I would say none, basically.
Yes, so I proudly say, and I even in my resume, I proudly mentioned it. Okay, like I launched this and it was a
Definitely.
failure, but that was a failure I accepted. But what I learned from it was even more than what the students in bachelor's didn't learn. Because if you see, when I was doing that, I learned market research, how to do the market research.
Wow.
I and like my school was great at thanks to my school they provided me all with all the facilities they met me from the people like Nasir Monji and like their alumni, so my counselor
Okay.
made me meet these people, then they taught me how to do market research, how to do the competitor approach, customer approach. So like can you imagine
Wow.
when I stepped it, Nasir Monji is a good name in India, so a
Of
10
course,
year
of
old
course.
kid a 10-year-old kid was learning these things from Nasi Munji, that too free of cost.
Wow, that's a great thing. You should be really proud of it.
Yes, and but this is this you just like you said, these cases are none. Then
Hmm.
this is the problem.
True.
Why is this none? And that we need to
Yeah,
change. And outside India, you go like the
definitely.
best thing is they leave the students to do whatever you want to do.
True.
When you explore your own area, it's like yes, and this is the reason why in like India also many students are just going for medical and engineering because they are not able to explore their own niche. Like
And
if I'm
even
able,
societal,
yes,
yeah,
and that's
even
why employment
societal
opportunities
pressure
are
and
also there.
fear. Yeah, exactly. That is, and as you said, because of the service based and product based and service based, that's again a different thing. And hence we have more population in India, and hence people are opting for service based. And there's no innovation and anything because of the same reason. It
Yes,
again leads
and
one thing leads to another, and circle
yes,
goes
yes,
on.
yes. Even in a survey, even a survey was conducted, and what came out like most of the startups in India fail just because of innovation. And the
True,
innovation
definitely. I read that. I read that. Yeah.
and why people are not able to do innovation because I got an idea, I launched it. What's next? I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah.
And to exist
I
in the market, you have to do innovations in your business.
Of course, of course.
And
Anything, that it's a proverb or it's a saying, like, if you don't change what you're doing, like, don't make it innovative, you will be like lost kind of thing. You won't
yes,
stand up with the market. So everything you have to keep on changing. Even with Apple, if you see the company, Apple company, every year they make some small, 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 small changes, and
yes,
hence they
yes,
are at this position.
yes.
If they would have kept the same thing, how would they, cope
Just
up with the
like
market? So
yes, just like Nokia did. Nokia stopped innovating, and it
exactly.
was like they just vanished from
See,
India.
they failed, definitely, they failed, they really failed. But then again, I think they have come up now. They're slowly, slowly doing their own thing and they're trying to come up in the market. So, just hoping that, they reach that
I
level.
don't think Xiaomi's and all these Chinese brands took over the market. I don't think they'll be able to
It
take it
won't
from.
work now, I feel. They had taken over the market, but now I don't think it would really work because
Okay,
Chinese
so we
products,
have a
as we
bit
all
of
know.
questions also. Yes.
Okay.
How
Mm.
you know about that? Okay, so Yes, schools in India, they teach nothing about how to do, how to manage finances, personal brand, entrepreneurship. They are all up to study hard and get a job. That's it. Yes, bro, they are
But
up to study hard and get job. And but what can you do? You need to change the system. And
no, but I think nowadays school has started adapting a bit, like in junior college and even in I think ninth and tenth grade. Like for example, if you see good schools like Podar International and everything, they have started adapting these things, and they are not, they are letting the child explore what they feel like doing it, and hence
yes,
they are able to take their own decisions. So that is a very good thing, which schools should adapt. Different schools, like what international schools are doing, this normal people can see them and adapt that. This
yes,
needs
yes.
to change a bit in the system.
How did you make your community of your work? How do you make your community of your work? Like when you work, you automatically get the community which is involved in that work, and you get the community which loves to do that kind of work. Like or and if you are not doing anything, then you also don't get to know that the people whom I'm meeting, they can also do that or not. Like when I was launching my first startup at the age of 16, then like if I would have not done it, then I would not, I might not be knowing that my school could help me in that, in like in
True.
so much of thing. And so I would have not met so much of community. Okay, so could you talk about how the working culture is in Australia and UK? So in Australia, it's like cool, peace. Life is at absolute peace in Australia, bro. Like honestly speaking, people work for around 6 hours, 2 days holiday, Saturday Sunday छुट्टी होती है. ये नहीं हमारी तरह की Sunday को भी अपने projects लेके बैठे हैं. It's all holiday. Saturday Sunday you chill out, and your boss can only text you on Saturday Sundays. He cannot make even a single call to you. Then that is something good that you should love. That everybody should love. कि यार boss की call ही नहीं आई तो फिर
That is,
boss इससे call है.
I think that is both in Australia and UK. I think, in fact, all the foreign countries, if you see US in that matter, US, UK, Australia, it's kind of similar. Like the work culture is kind of similar,
Yes,
very
yes.
much.
So, like how you decide what's after the first innovation? What is after the first innovation? Well, what is after the first innovation? It's definite. It's the second innovation, and see, you don't do innovations on the basis of a hypothesis and all. You don't get it suddenly. Don't clicks in your mind. Like, yeah, it definitely may click in your mind. Okay, let's do this, and it might have chances to get a success. But you see out the problem, and even many times innovation are not to do something new. Innovation is like you even research in your own business model, and you find there's a loophole, and you bring that loophole as a innovation, and people love it. Like to give an example, it's a very small example. When Paytm launched, so now they have launched that speaker with that speaking system on all the restaurants in Delhi and all. Like it's not in my city Lucknow yet, but in Delhi and Bangalore, it's like when you pay, the speaker says yes, 20 rupees paid. So that
Hmm.
was the loophole, because बहुत से लोग होते थे पुराना स्क्रीनशॉट दिखा के ही चल दिया, और they don't use to pay. So they brought that. So innovation is like you study your own. There are a lot of ways you study your own business model. Is there any kind of loophole, you launch it. And is there any other kind of opportunity, you can also launch it as an innovation. It's just like you need to do something new to stay in the market.
That is so true. That is so true. Like every day, in fact, all the big companies that are at such certain level right now, they have made innovations and hence they are here today.
Innovation
That
is
is so true.
required.
Required everywhere in any business, to be very honest.
Actually, the thing, even you have customers, how you expand if you won't have a community. If I won't have a community, see, when you launch a business, you just don't launch it like it clicked in my mind, I launched it. You study the market, you study what are the problems. I made a reel on that also. When you launch a business, how you get this idea? You study the market, you find out all the problems, and you find out the best way to solve those problems. And when you get the best way, you just add your profit into it. Like, how can you earn profits by solving that problem? And if you're solving a problem, it's definite that you will get a community, because it's a problem in the whole society. What Zomato
True.
did and Swiggy did, it was a the old school peoples in India, like uncle auntie, तो वो तो ये सोचते हैं कि यार 30 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा लेगा, उससे बड़े 15 रुपए का अपना तेल लगा के ले आओ. But what millennials are doing, what the new generation is like, भाई मैं यार नहीं जाना मुझे, मैं Netflix देख रहा हूँ, I want it at my own place, I'll order it. And this is slowly and gradually increasing. So
Of course, so
what they
true.
figured out is new generation wants this. This is the problem with the new generation. This should be our target market, target audience, and that target audience becomes your community.
So,
Yes. So you when you solve a problem, you'll automatically get the community. It's like
so
uh,
when he's saying community, I'm just hoping that like it's more of a customer kind of thinking.
yeah, I hope so. So yes, if you are listening, so please can you just elaborate what your community means? What this word community means? Okay, trading a gamble or a skill practice. What's your opinion?
Oh,
Uh,
my God.
like trading is not a gamble. It's like you can say 50% gamble also, because in trading it's the calculated risk. And if you are not trying something good, something new, because if you are trying something new, then you make your mind that you have to lose money, because अगर पहले से कुछ negative बना लेते हो तो अगर negative होता है तो इतना बुरा नहीं लगता है. So, and if you have a good strategy, then you definitely, it's a calculated risk, nothing else. What is
Hmm.
your education qualification? So my education qualification is I passed my class 12th from world's largest school. It was City Montessori School. Google it. And now currently I'm studying in one of the most prestigious universities in the world. It's University of Melbourne. And like yes, in my portfolio, everything is world's largest and more world's prestigious. I only talk about at world level. I don't talk the
You should
city names.
definitely share your CV with everyone.
Yes. In fact, like what the culture and the ecosystem in my school was like, I'm till date I'm connected with the Chief Justice of Argentina. Can you imagine? Like,
Wow,
because
that's
we
so
used to have
cool.
Chief Justice conference in our school, and like the Chief Justice of 56 countries used to come. They used to keep their point, what are
Wow.
the problems going, and like we students used to represent those communities in like those countries in a model United Nations, like MUN. It's a
Wow.
demo of United Nations. So I got to interact with this Chief Justice, and the best part was like he was having his flag on his suit. When he came from Australia. He came from Argentina, and when he got to know that I was representing, and he was so happy with my the way I interacted to him. Like he took that flag from his own suit and tucked it on my suit and said
Wow.
like, "Have a good future, man. You're great." I'm like, "Come on, yeah, getting." And he also signed on a character certificate. He signed a signature, like getting
Wow, that's
character
so
certificate
great.
from
You should be really,
Chief Justice
really
of
proud of him.
Argentina. You getting a character certificate, it really means a lot. Also, somebody is
Definitely,
asking your
definitely.
education qualification.
Okay, so I have like recently completed my master's in organizational and business psychology from UK, from North India University, and I am currently trying to pursue my career ahead. I think someone has asked how to become a stockbroker.
How to become stockbroker? Like this is something which needs to be cleared out, and I thought to make a video on this too. Like in India, wherever you go in the world, you don't become a stockbroker. Like if you heard of the name Motilal Oswal, you have heard of the name Zerodha Upstock. These are the stockbrokers, and the people who work in these companies are the jobbers. They're not the stockbrokers. So if you want to become a stockbroker, then you become like, you don't launch your own company, you manage it on your own, you manage it on your like normal notebooks. It's good, but that is too tedious to manage in India, like in India or whatever, wherever you go, because once you cross the customer base of around 100 people, you cannot manage it in books. You need a computer based system, and you could do it. And it's not 1990s Arshad Mehta wala samay nahi hai कि आप रिंग में जाते हो, हाँ वो करते हो. It's like everything. Even
True.
BSE is more electrified. It's so techno savvy. So you put the orders. Even broker जो जेरोदा का मालिक है, उसको पता भी नहीं चलता कि आपने ऑर्डर लगाया, वो ऑर्डर डायरेक्ट BSE तक पहुंच भी जाता है. So you don't become a stockbroker, you become a jobber. And Zerodha and these are the stockbrokers. Is
True.
technology like what is your opinion on current Indian financial market? Current Indian financial market. See, my opinion is like government to government things change. And if I'm talking about current government, the BJP government, they are more towards privatization and financial. So when it comes to financial situation, there are two three methods which are there, which they are using. First is disinvestment. I could see they are selling off LIC. They're like their LIC is doing its IPO. In Indian Railway did its IPO, and they are selling airports to Adani. So they are a bit more towards privatization. And when privatization comes, inflation comes, and yes, development comes. So for financial market, if I talk about particularly, it's a bull run going on just because a, us government is there who is more towards supporting companies instead of supporting PSUs. Because yeah, PSU though they are on stock exchanges, but if you see PSUs don't get that much of profit because the main purpose of these PSUs are to serve people instead of getting profits. And we are not, and when you're not getting profits, your company won't able to give dividends, so your share prices don't increase, and when share prices don't increase, Sensex stops, and when Sensex stops, your whole stock market stops. So
So it's
yes,
basically a circle that goes around. If you just, miss out one thing, it's just everything affects.
yes. It's all in the circle if you see, because
True.
when like Congress was there, they were more towards socialism. So and if you this financial markets used to like this, and when BJP came, it's like this. So why? Because they are boosting companies, and if you see the startup ecosystem in India also after BJP government, there are a lot of things which has come up by
Definitely.
the government
Yes.
to launch startups. So that is
Yeah, they're
also
encouraging them a lot, like giving them funds and everything on a larger basis now. So this is a very good, plus point for all the Indians right now.
even in the economic survey just before the day, finance minister talked about the what we say budget. uh, the economic survey said India would be seeing around 11% growth in total in India's
That's
GDP.
very
So let's hope it achieves it, because
definitely
COVID-19 really took economy down. So yes, so
ruined
hope.
everything. Yeah, yeah.
And if you see, government is like putting all the things to in public hand. So this might they should increase, the financial market should increase, because it's all in the private hands, and private want profits, and when they get profits, everything is like happy, and everything increases.
Of course.
So
In
financial
fact,
situation is
once
good. Financial market is also good. And even the
yeah,
RBI also came with this new policy, and this is good if you are an investor in bond market, that you can directly buy bonds from RBI. Now you don't need to go to SBI and all. So that is also a very good thing, because you can get it easily. So more people will be able to invest in it. So government would be getting more funds. Yes.
that's so
And
true. In fact, I think I've just like read in a report or something. In fact, all the employees also working in the private sector, or I think in the government firms and everything as well, they are also, going to get like hike up about like up to 7 to 8% of hike, which is a very good thing. Like in 2021, like after COVID, no one was expecting, if you get 7 to 8% hike, which is a very nice thing for all the
very
employees. So,
nice.
people are like thinking that there are no jobs in the market and it's really bad. But it's slowly, getting into the place and jobs are coming. So it's like nothing bad. People are trying to be digitalized until now and everything will come into place, but it just takes little time to, swoop in. So yeah, that is a
Yes,
good.
yes. So, is technology should be used as a left hand, or is technology should be used as a left hand if your right hand is in the market? Is it necessary, or without the using tech means social platform to stretch your startup? See, it's the need of the hour. Technology is the need of the hour. You cannot manage things without technology. Please tell me, can you make cost sheet of a company without MS Excel? Can you make it? No, you
Definitely
cannot make
no.
even a single like what the if you think you are not in college. Who's asking this question, because when you come into college you get to know that कि भाई अगर एक छोटा सा ग्राफ भी बनाना होता है ना, तो डेटा इतना सारा होता है कि you cannot make it without the help of MS Excel. So technology is the need of the hour, and could try to imagine you cannot manage thousands of your customers' books in just one notebook, or you need a
Without
portal,
technology, definitely.
and you are a middleman. The stockbroker is a middleman between the person who wants to invest and between the stock exchange where you have to invest. And if stock exchange is techno savvy, they are saying the order should come electronically. Then you cannot take a paper saying that this is the order and please sell this. Give me this. These
Definitely.
are these particular number of shares. So yes, it's the need of the hour. You have to do it. But yeah,
And
you
in
can
fact, as
also
a
compromise. You can
yeah,
also
and in fact, as a
compromise with
young
the technology, but you cannot just say I don't want to use the technology.
true. But in fact, I think as a young, like if they are not in college and they are trying to grow their careers, I think they can really adapt into technology and use it very wisely because people, aged 40, 45, they are not more of into technology, and this is like a very good thing which you can take standard and grow your business accordingly because those people won't, so you have that benefit of taking it. This is the only thing which will happen in our generation and theirs. Like from next generation onwards, we all will be using technology, and
Yes,
here
yes.
right now we have this benefit.
Even if we take our example, when like I was just talking about around 4 years back situation, we used to get internet worth 250 rupees, वो भी महीने का 1
It
GB
is so
मिलता था.
expensive. Yes, yes,
And
it is
yes,
so expensive.
मतलब like we cannot even imagine कि हम उस time पे PUBG जैसे game खेल सकें. But
True,
like
so
today's
true.
kids, you see, even the kids of first and second class, they are like burning whole internet.
Everyone, yes, yes.
The moment, the slowly and slowly, gradually, as technology comes, the generation is also more techno savvy, and it becomes a need of the hour.
Exactly, yes.
You cannot
True,
imagine your
true.
life without the internet
Without
right now. Like
technology, definitely.
the moment
Everyone
Wi-Fi,
who feels like
yes,
this,
yes.
they should try using, spending their day without a mobile. They'll be like so crazy, it's like, no, I need mobile. That is also so difficult, and running your business without technology is another difficult thing.
So, moving on to next
Next
question.
one.
It's like you both are intelligent. भाई आपको मैं intelligent लगा, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. घर पे तो लोग इज्जत नहीं देते हैं.
Same here.
Is bond also listed in BSc or BSc, NSC?
It's NSC, yeah.
It's NSE. See,
Right.
bonds are not listed. Bonds are basically a document which gives you security that you have lent the government this much of money, and government will return you with the like in the form of dividend. Like they don't give you in the form of dividend, but you can say in the form of interest. So bond is not listed. You have to buy it from the RBI or any other government banks. You can also buy from any private banks also. It happens like if these private banks have bought it from any from RBI or any government banks, then you can buy from them also. But at that point of time, just because the chain is increased, supply chain is increased, prices hike. Please comment on should after a startup later on factory should be set or not for progress, and if not, then what else will be a proper manner to manage the community under you working 24/7? Manage the
So I
community
think he's
under
talking
you.
about the staff, probably, if I'm not wrong. Working under you, that is the staff, if I'm not wrong.
No, he is actually talking about like when he says if not, then what else will be a proper manner to manage the community under you working for. Yes, he's talking about the staff. Yes,
Yes,
people
staff.
who are your employees. So first thing, the first part of your question says should after a startup later on factory should be set or not set up or not. It depends on the need. If you're getting
Depends.
that much of demand, then you set up a factory, and if you're not getting that much of demand, then there is no need of setting up a factory because you'll get inventory, and the moment you're getting a lot of inventory which is not able to supply it, then it turns out to be in a loss. So it's all about the supply and demand. If you see, if the people who have all ever managed their kitchen, घर में अगर kitchen संभाला होगा तो यार it's like जो सब्जी ज्यादा बनती है वो ज्यादा घर में आनी चाहिए, जो सब्जी कम बनती है वो कम आनी चाहिए. And this is same with the business also. If you're getting more demand, you launch the product. If you're getting more, it's a huge demand for a single product, launch a huge factory for that. If you're not getting, just like Ola is doing right now, Ola is launching their own electric two-wheelers. So they know that after 10 years from now, in 2030, there will be huge demand. So they're launching a huge factory in Odisha, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, it's all based on demand. And the next part of the question says, and if not, then proper manner to manage. Okay, so this is something related to staff and HR. So, Dhwani, you
So
should answer.
I definitely. So I feel like, there's a lot of investment. Again, if you have your own factory, you need to treat your employees right. Again, you have to pay the salaries. So a lot of investment. And if it's no need, you should not do right now, because training the staff is also another important thing. You need your
Yes.
staff needs to be, trained perfectly in order to run the factory, which is a big thing. So if it's not needed, you should not, and work how you're working. And then if you get such big orders and everything, you should definitely start investing in factories.
And in fact, if you would have seen this movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, and the best part I loved about the employees in that movie was this guy used to motivate the employees every single day. He used to he had a stage there, and you used to motivate them. And because see, if you are not motivating your employees, then their morale goes down, and once the morale
Definitely.
goes down, you cannot earn profits.
This is such an important part which, like, most of the companies are missing out on. They'll try to do everything for the employees. They'll give them good salary package, they'll give them all the facilities, but that emotional touch which is needed, like, which the
Yes.
employer has with employees, is really missing, and hence there are a lot of issues in the companies that are going on.
Like companies are investing a lot of money on HR who could find a good employer, hardworking employer, but they are not investing in money in
So
making that emotional relationship with the
exactly, which
employees.
is very important right now,
Yes.
especially in
If
all these difficult times, like even when we
yes,
face COVID and all that. You should understand a bit
yes,
over there.
because and if you are if you are having like a personnel who is more dedicated towards your company, then he would do better work. He would do better work in comparison to a person who is who has more expertise in that area, but he's not attached to a company. So yes, emotional
Exactly,
relationship
exactly.
is
So
required.
true. Definitely, definitely.
So, do you even had phone having RAM at that time, lol? No, bro.
When you
In
said,
fact,
I
I
think
tell
about
you,
PUBG, I
yes, yes. When the first man landed on Earth, that aircraft, to nahi kahenge, spacecraft had the RAM of 4 kilobyte KB, and today
hmm,
we are having people who are making TikTok with the RAM worth 8 GB and all. So you can imagine how technology has
has
gone.
evolved completely. Yeah,
Yes.
it's private good
So
to
is
invest in.
Prime in IND good to invest in? Yeah, it's Prime IND good to invest in. Bro, I need to do a research because I don't have this thing in my portfolio. So I haven't done research on this. And if you could just give the whole name of this Prime IND Industries, I think so. It is. I need to do a research on this because the मैं फालतू stocks में नजर नहीं मारता अगर वो मेरे portfolio में नहीं होते तो because I also have a lot of other things to do and I'm moreover a person who holds the stocks and wait for the boom period. So yes, I'm not in day trading and all because by college भी manage करना होता है और ये school तो है नहीं कि मैम भूल गया homework करना या assignment नहीं submit किया तो सीधा marks कट जाते हैं. And it's not India कि भाई चाचा विधायक हैं you're not even submitting your assignments you're passing all year. It's Australia if you're not submitting this ये तुम्हारे चाचा भाई सांसद क्यों ना हो या एमपी क्यों ना हो पीएम क्यों ना हो आपके मार्क्स जानना है तो जान दें.
So
Prime
I think
India.
prime interest rates.
Yes, so Pandit ji, your Prime India is not listed in on stock exchange. So I'm so sorry if you're talking about Prime India. So Prime Industries, Anurag Patidar said it's Prime Industries. So Prime
Prime
Industries,
industries.
I could understand like I cannot say I need to check this out because you cannot even say that from fundamental perspective that it's a good for long term because you need to see into the things which are good for which are like technical things for the short term thing. So I need to check this out. I'll definitely DM you, Anurag Patidar 083. I'll definitely DM you. 308 price today. Oh, so it's a penny stock, right? Yes, 308 is today's price, so it might be a penny stock. So I need to see the graph, but what I can tell you right now is when it comes to penny stocks, never ever get happy if it gives you return in a day because what the majority cases of the penny stock is that government these companies are either lacking with their funds, or these companies are more in debt. And if a company is more in debt, then यार कभी भी आपके जिनसे आपने पैसा उधार लिया वो आपके सर पे चढ़ सकते हैं. So yes, so you don't need to rely on them. So अगर returns दे रहे हैं तो ज्यादा टिकना मत. एक बार return मिला पैसा लेके फिर कहीं और चले जाना. Don't invest in, because if you see Vodafone combined with what they combined with Idea, I hope so, they became V. So when they became V, their prices went up. एंड जस्ट क्योंकि उन्होंने एडवर्टीजमेंट बहुत किया, और जाहिर सी बात है जब दोनों कंपनी मर्ज कर गई तो कहीं ना कहीं डेट कम हुए और प्रॉफिट्स बढ़े उनके, कस्टमर बेस भी बढ़ा क्योंकि. तो बट उस थोड़े पीरियड के लिए वो शेयर्स ऊपर गए थे, बट उसके बाद वापस नीचे आ गए, एंड दे आर स्टिल इन द कैटेगरी ऑफ पेनी स्टॉक. सो प्लीज, और कभी भी कंपनी के नेम पे मत जाना. लेट मी टेल यू, टाटा स्टील आल्सो हैज अ पेनी स्टॉक ऑन बीएसई. So Tata is a big name, 700 years or 800 years in this industry. So still they have a penny stock. So please, 80 lakh डेट और 5 करोड़ कैपिटल. भाई 5 करोड़ के कैपिटल के साथ 80 लाख का डेट है तो इट्स अराउंड लाइक भाई 1 करोड़ के करीबी डेथ हो गया. तो यार ये तो बहुत ज्यादा परसेंटेज बन रहा है. सो प्लीज डोंट गो इनटू दैट. एंड प्लीज भाई, अगर ये डेट और इसका वो चेक करना है ना, सो आई हैव मेड अ वीडियो ऑन ऑल द रेशियोज यू नीड टू यूज. प्लीज भाई वो वीडियो देखना, शेयर भी कर देना, जो भी कर लेना, लेकिन भाई रीच बढ़ा देना उस वीडियो की. उस वाले की कम गई है बताने की. तो चाचा विधायक हैं हमारे भाई, बहुत किस्मत वाले चाचा विधायक है. तो आई ओके, सो दिस इज अ कॉम्प्लीमेंट फॉर यू फ्रॉम आकाश शाह.
Yeah.
भाई which is the best mutual fund according to you? यार in last live I told the best mutual funds, like there's a fund, it's Edvils's Greater China, you go for that. SBI small cap also, but SBI small cap is new, so ज्यादा 5 साल से ऊपर मत जाना. In fact, I would recommend you to go for between 3 to 5 years. इतना ही hold करना. And X is also good, but the risk in that is more. And there's also one, it's from Tata, I think. So yes, from Tata or Bajaj. They are having bonds, so because bonds and FDs in their portfolio. So just because bonds and FDs give you passive cash flow, so the risk उसमें कम है, तो भाई you can also go for that too. So but yes, mutual fund में वैसे भी रिस्क कम होता है यार. एक्सेस में भी चले जाना कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. भाई 1-2 साल में ज्यादा रिटर्न मिले ऐसे बताओ कोई. यार देखो, पहली चीज, लेट मी टेल यू, आई से दिस टू एवरीबॉडी, स्टॉक मार्केट एंड म्यूचुअल फंड्स एंड बॉन्ड मार्केट इज नॉट लाइक 21 दिन में पैसा डबल वाली स्कीम. You have to show a lot of patience, and when it comes to mutual fund, then you have to show a lot of patience. And bro, you have to earn if you have to earn a lot of amount from mutual funds, then nothing less than 3 years. You have to keep your money for around 3 years, because 1-2 साल में तो यार रिटर्न परसेंटेज मतलब 70% भी नहीं क्रॉस करता है. सो व्हाट कैन यू एक्सपेक्ट. और जब 3 years और 5 years क्रॉस करता है तो जाके 150% भी पहुंच जाता है बहुत से केसेस में. तो यू नथिंग लेस देन 3 years. सो ओके, आई थिंक वी covered up all the questions. We are not left with any other questions.
Yeah, I think we should end our live here on this note.
On this comment section also we have a bit book for beginners
Okay.
about investing. I made a video on this too, books for investing. भाई please मेरी प्रोफाइल पे जाओ, नहीं फॉलो किया तो आप फॉलो कर लो भाई please, and watch that video. In the caption I've mentioned some of the books also, so please go for it. और बुक्स प्लीज खरीदने की जरूरत नहीं. आई नेवर आस्क एनीबॉडी टू बाय द बुक्स. भाई टेलीग्राम है, टॉरेंट है, कहीं से भी डाउनलोड मारो. इनकॉग्निटो टैब भी है तुम्हारे क्रोम में, डाउनलोड मारो, बस यूज करो. So okay, so yeah, I think we should end this on a good note. Yeah, we should
All
end this.
right, Harsh, it was really great talking to you. Thanks for
Yeah,
the
yeah, same here,
insights.
same here.
We'll definitely get
Hey,
together.
we have a
Yeah.
question. We have a question for you, Dhwani.
Okay.
Dhwani, where is Kavish? Oh, so I think this guy knows you.
Yeah, he knows me.
Okay. एंड मैक्स कितना अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए अकॉर्डिंग टू यू? मतलब फर्स्ट टाइम म्यूचुअल फंड ओपन करने के बारे में सोच रहा हूँ. फर्स्ट टाइम म्यूचुअल फंड ओपन करने के बारे में सोच रहे हो, सो ब्रो इधर गो फॉर 5K और 10K. 10K तो भाई बहुत अच्छा रिटर्न दे देगा आपको, तो 10K आई वुड लाइक. बट अगर 10K नहीं है तो 5K तो मिनिमम करो यार. 5K क्योंकि सही दी इन्वेस्टमेंट इज लाइक 1 रुपए डाला है तो 10 रुपए मिलेंगे या 100 रुपए मिलेंगे, 1 रुपए डाला है तो 1 लाख या 1 करोड़ नहीं मिलेगा, वो एक पर्टिकुलर रेशियो में रिटर्न मिलता है आपको। सो जितना डालोगे उस हिसाब से ही मिलेगा। सो आई वुड रिकमेंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू 50K, so bro, if you have 50K, so don't put that whole 50K in one mutual fund. Do a bit of research, or like you DM me, I'll tell you all the म्यूचुअल फंड्स किसमें कितना अमाउंट डालो, क्योंकि ऐसे यार जबान पे रटा नहीं होता है, सब देखना पड़ता है। How we register for voter ID, literally I don't know, I recently turned into 18 भाई। ये हमने कोई समाज सेवा केंद्र नहीं खोला है, सो प्लीज, इवन आई डोंट नो भाई हाउ डू यू रजिस्टर फॉर वोटर आईडी, गूगल इट, हाउ डू वी रजिस्टर फॉर वोटर आईडी, कुछ ना कुछ मिल ही जाएगा।
There are people asking 21 दिन में पैसे डबल होगा या नहीं? I was like, wow.
नहीं होता भाई, 21 दिन में पैसा डबल। अब वो बात अलग है, तुम हर्षित मेहता हो तो, क्योंकि उसके बाद में हर्षित मेहता के साथ क्या हुआ था वो भी देखा
वो
होगा
तो है ही, डेफिनेटली है वो तो।
तो 21 दिन में पैसा डबल नहीं होता। इनफैक्ट सी, if you go for listen to the greatest of the greatest investors of all time, वॉरेन बफेट हो गया, हर कोई वॉरेन बफेट का नाम लेता है, हम थोड़ा इंडिया में आ जाते हैं। आप राकेश झुनझुनवाला को सुनिए, यू गो विद अजय केडिया, विजय केडिया, ऑल दीज केडियास इन द मार्केट, see they all recommend you to go for long term, and even they have done this long term thing, so long term में ही profit ज्यादा होता है यार, because and you cannot even expect yourself कि 24 घंटे आप बस उसमें full time trading कर रहे हो, 24 घंटे you are watching the graph, and if you are having 10 companies in your portfolio, then you cannot manage all the 10 graphs at the single time, because एक सेकंड में अपॉर्चुनिटी लूज हो जाती है स्टॉक मार्केट में। सो यस, 21 दिन में पैसा डबल नहीं ही होता है, अगर हो जाता है तो भाई मेरे को बताना, मुझे भी करना है। भाई मेरे मार्केट पैसे इन्वेस्ट करना हो तो किस शेक पे फोकस करें? शेक की शेयर या भाई कुछ क्या है भाई? प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट्स दिस CHEG। होगा मेरे पास एक स्कीम है, करना है भाई। स्कीम देखो, अगर ये स्कीम वो हेरा फेरी वाली स्कीम नहीं है तो प्ले आई वुड लाइक इट, बट वो हेरा फेरी अक्षय कुमार वाली स्कीम है तो भाई आई वोंट लाइक इट, आई वोंट डू इट। अनुराधा चिट फंड, यस, अनुराधा चिट फंड का नाम सुना है, वही है भाई, वही है।
Oh my god, I was
अब
expecting
स्टॉक्स
this.
के विड्रॉ की पॉलिसी एक बार बता दो अगर आपको पता है तो, कॉज वहां पर लिखा हुआ समझ नहीं आया, कुछ 80% और 20% कुछ तो था। भाई मैं अपस्टॉक यूज नहीं करता, लिटरली बता रहा हूँ। आई हैव यूज्ड HDFC सिक्योरिटीज, आई हैव यूज्ड ज़ेरोधा, आई हैव यूज्ड मोतीलाल ओसवाल, आई हैव यूज्ड एंजल ब्रोकिंग, इनसे पूछ लो, बट अपस्टॉक्स आई हैव टू सी। और भाई ऐसे पर्टिकुलर कुछ क्वेश्चंस होते हैं ना जिसमें रिसर्च करनी होती है, वो भाई DM में कर लिया करो, क्योंकि अब मैं ऐसे कैसे बता दूं, मेरे को लैपटॉप खोल के देखना पड़ेगा उसके क्या टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस है, किस चीज, ओ सो इट्स लाइक चीज पर फोकस फोकस करें। शेख भाई तुम्हारी इंग्लिश ने मेरे को हार्ट अटैक दे दिया कि चीज चीज पर फोकस करें, ठीक है भाई, किस चीज पे फोकस करो। मैंने इस पे भी रील बनाई हुई है यार, तुम लोग कुछ पता नहीं कहाँ से मेरे 3,500 फॉलोअर आ गए, तुम लोगों ने कुछ देखा ही नहीं है। You see a company's market capitalization, you see how much is the profit, you see two ratios, debt equity ratio, and there's one more ratio, उस पे मैंने वीडियो बनाई हुई है भाई, देखो यार। एंड यस, यही देखो, और इसमें जिसमें मतलब लिस्ट बनाओ 3-4 कंपनीज की, बट पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री से जो कंपनी अच्छी वो लगे और उस पर भाई लगा दो पैसा। प्लस अगर लॉन्ग टर्म करना है तो अंडरस्टैंड द एनवायरमेंट, व्हाट इज द एनवायरमेंट लाइक। हमेशा मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ, आज फिर दूंगा, पिछले लाइफ में भी दिया था। आपको पता है कि 5G आने वाला है इंडिया में, तो एंड द ओनली थिंग विच इज रिक्वायर्ड इन 5G इज द ऑप्टिकल फाइबर। सो भाई ऑप्टिकल फाइबर की कंपनीज पे लगा दो, क्योंकि एक बार 5G लॉन्च हो गया तो ऑप्टिकल फाइबर की डिमांड बढ़ जाएगी, डिमांड बढ़ जाएगी तो प्रॉफिट बढ़ जाएंगे, प्रॉफिट बढ़ गया तो भाई शेयर प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा। सो प्लीज गो फॉर दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स। तुम इंग्लिश पे फोकस करो भाई, इंग्लिश पे बहुत फोकस किया यार, तभी IELTS मेरा क्लियर हुआ, वरना मेरा IELTS क्लियर ही ना होता। How to invest in USA stock market? So, bro, US stock market, basically, I haven't made a video on this, but I have made a video on this with the collaboration of Stock Twits. So go to on profile of Stock Twits India. मेरी वीडियो आप पढ़ी हुई है, see that, but still I'm telling you, you need 2-3 things: पैन कार्ड, आधार कार्ड, and like मेरे को सही में यार वो सरकारी नौकरों वाली फीलिंग, मतलब सरकारी एम्प्लॉयज वाली फीलिंग आ रही है बाबू क्लर। पैन कार्ड से भाई साहब, आपका पैन कार्ड लगेगा, आधार कार्ड लगेगा, आपका एक बैंक अकाउंट लगेगा, और बैंक अकाउंट में पैसे भी लगेंगे। और बस आप किसी भी लाइक आई वुड रिकमेंड वेस्टेड फाइनेंस बिकॉज इट द यूजर एक्सपीरियंस इज very easy. So just go to vested finance, download their app, make your ID, and everything is asked in it कि अपना पैन कार्ड सबमिट करो, ये सबमिट करो. बट एक उसमें चीजें जो होती है, आपको लाइव अपनी वीडियो बनानी पड़ती है अपने पैन कार्ड के साथ. तो अब शायद हटा दिया, पर है, मेरे को पता नहीं, वो हटाने वाले थे इस सिस्टम को. सो वो ध्यान रखना, पैन कार्ड की फोटो अगर कहीं से मंगवा रहे हो तो पैन कार्ड भी मंगवा लेना अपना. सो यस, और इसमें इन्वेस्ट करना. बेसिकली यूएस स्टॉक्स बहुत फायदा होता है यार. यूएस स्टॉक्स में इनफैक्ट अगर वहां के शेयर्स की प्राइस भी नहीं गिरी है ना, तो क्योंकि हमारी करेंसी गिर जाती है, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो ऐसे ही प्रॉफिट दे जाता है आपको. तो भाई, इतना सारा मार्केट का नॉलेज गेन करने में कितने दिन लगे आपको? टू बी वेरी
He wants to
ऑनेस्ट,
know the
मैंने
score.
कैलकुलेट नहीं किया था, बट अगर मैं सच बताऊं, बेसिकली द थिंग इज, मैं वही करता हूँ जो मुझे पसंद होता है. सो आई लव स्टॉक मार्केट. स्टॉक मार्केट रन्स इन माय वेन्स. यस, ऑफ कोर्स ब्लड भी रन करता है, बट स्टॉक मार्केट आर द आरबीसीज ऑफ माय blood. So yes, dude, I love it. So I read it, and I read about like every single person who is in the stock market, because मैं चाहता हूँ कि भले वो खराब हो या अच्छा हो, बट मुझे सारे पर्सपेक्टिव जानने हैं. And it's all about the perspective in the stock market. अगर
That's it.
लोग डिमांड डाल रहे हैं तो आपके शेयर्स की प्राइस बढ़ेगी. अब उसको आपको कैसे टैकल करना है वो आप सोचो. या कोई बैड न्यूज मार्केट में आई है तो लोग क्या सोच के अब उस शेयर पे रिएक्ट करेंगे, उस हिसाब से आप अपना रिएक्शन दो. इट्स ऑल अबाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग द पर्सपेक्टिव. एंड अबे तुम्हें नहीं, जिसने फोकस को फोकस लिखा है उसको कहा. अच्छा, ओके भाई, थैंक्स, बता दिया. तू फिर भाई यार, अपनी प्राइवेट चैट, ये एक्चुअली मेरे क्लास के बच्चे हैं.
That should
मैं
be a better
साथ में
idea.
12th क्लास में पढ़ते थे हम लोग. भाई क्या कर रहे हो यार? By tell us your story. Uh, tell us my story. Tell you my story. भाई मेरी स्टोरी भाई कुछ खास नहीं था. मेरी स्टोरी बहुत सैड सी नहीं, बोरिंग सी रही है. क्योंकि मेरे जो स्कूल था उसने ना मुझे खेलने का टाइम दिया, ना लाइफ में एडवेंचर करने का टाइम दिया. बट yes, still I found out a bit of time and I did a bit of adventures. एडवेंचर क्या, ट्रैवल बहुत किया मैंने. लाइक just because my father is a government employee, तो ट्रांसफर होता रहता है, तो उस बेसिस पे ट्रैवल भी कर लेता हूँ. लाइक आई my house is in Lucknow, but I'm from past 1 year I'm living in Pathankot, just because of my father. So it's like, yes, I want your personal mentor. Personal mentor, मेरा personal mentor कौन है? Great question. I don't have any kind of mentors. Honestly telling यार, मैं छुपाने वाली कोई बात नहीं है. I don't have any mentors. Like people ask कि भाई अगर आपको कोई mentor नहीं है तो कहाँ से knowledge मिलती है, ये वो. I just explore the things because बचपन से exploration की आदत लगी. Because केस में बताऊँ अपने स्कूल का, तो it was a bit different. कि क्या बताऊँ, बच्चे लगे होते थे यार चिंदी काम करने में, एंड आई यूज्ड टू थिंक एट डिफरेंट लेवल. सो मेरी कभी उनसे बनी नहीं, और जब मेरी बनी नहीं उनसे, तो सब चीजें मैंने खुद से करी. और जब मैं सब चीजें खुद से करता था, मेरी हैबिट बन गई कि खुद सेल्फ रेजिलियंस वाली. तो मैं खुद से अब चीजें सब कर लेता हूँ, मुझे किसी मेंटोर की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट द मोटिवेशन, कौन मोटिवेट करता है? बिकॉज मेंटोर इज समथिंग विच मोटिवेट्स यू व्हेन यू फील लो. सो बट मेंटोर तो भाई, मैं देखता हूँ, दिस इज माई टारगेट, आई हैव अचीव दिस मच. सो वो अचीवमेंट की मैंने इतना अचीव कर लिया, उसी से मुझे मोटिवेशन मिलता है कि हाँ भाई अब और हो जाएगा. लाइक मैं कैसे बताऊँ, छोटा सा एग्जांपल दूँ तो भाई 3,500 फॉलोअर्स कर चुका हूँ मैं, और बस इसी से मोटिवेशन मिल रहा है कि 3.5 हो गया तो 10K भी हो जाएगा, 10K हो गया तो 100K भी हो जाएगा.
That's the way to
Yes,
get it.
yes, I don't have any kind of mentors. I want your personal story of career in stocks. Story of career in stocks.
I think you should do a private session with them
Yes,
on
yes,
this.
yes. I should think like यहाँ पे कुछ ज्यादा ही मेरे फैंस आ गए. I'm feeling like
हाँ.
like original influencer. So yes, but टेंशन मतलब यार